Hiya, and so here we have a quick guide on how to meal prep for weight loss and toning up. So you want to tone up? Great, let's make it happen. Training 4 or 5 times a week in the gym, at home, that's positive. Keep it going. However, this isn't going to get you the results you're looking for because there's a secret ingredient missing. I'll tell you, it's your diet. That's right, your diet. 20% training, 80% diet, but really it's 100% mindset. So it's what we set our minds towards. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the 5 steps on what you need to do to make meal prep fast, effective, and get you the results in the quickest possible time. So the first thing we're going to look at, we're going to go straight into part 1. First thing we need to look into is understanding our nutrition goals. So there's 2 things that we usually use. We either look towards our calorie deficit, so getting our calorie limit and our calorie intake. That's the first way to lose weight. It's a calories in versus calories out game, and ensuring that we're on the right side of that. Then the second part is understanding our macros. Those are the 2 things that we really need to get before even going shopping, before even looking at what we're going to eat. We need to understand those things. Proper planning prevents poor performance. What we want to do is we want to understand these key areas so we know exactly what we're doing. Otherwise, it's like walking into the battlefield blind, not knowing who the enemy is, not knowing where you need to go or anything. So we're going to get clear on that first. So the first thing we did, if you are, let's say, over 20% body fat, quite new to meal prepping, I recommend starting on just looking at limiting your calorie intake. Very simple way to start. What we would do with this meal prepping is understanding what that goal is. And so your question might be, Kieran, like, well, I don't know what that number is. How many calories should I be burning? Or should I be consuming to get myself in a calorie deficit? The short answer, it depends. What does it depend on? This depends on your age, your height, your weight, your metabolism, your activity levels. So all these things will essentially affect what your calorie intake should be for you to maintain. So therefore you know exactly what it needs to be to lose weight. We want it to be about 500 to 1,000 calorie deficit per day, and that's going to help us to lose 1 to 2 pounds over the course of the week. So that's 0.5 to 1 kg a week. That's a safe, sustainable rate. Anything more, you might fall more, but it might not be body fat you're losing. You could be losing more water weight, and essentially if it comes off easy, it comes on easier. But if you are, way above your where your sort of BMI should be, or where your body fat percentage should be. So let's say if you are in more the high 20s, 30s and 40% body fat rate, that might fall a little quicker when you first start, especially if you're training too. So as we said, first thing we need to look at is understanding calorie deficit. How many calories do you need to consume? Now, there's lots of people who've done calculations, scientists a lot smarter than myself who've done it. So I'm not even going to guess for you. I'm not going to try and make it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link below where you're going to be able to just click the link and put in your information, put in your age, put in your height, your activity levels, and then it will work out how many calories it will recommend for you to consume. And then we'll break it down step by step and see if you wanted to lose, let's say, sort of mild weight loss, 1 pound a week. This is how many calories you need to consume. If you want to go a bit more, lose it a bit quicker, 2 pounds a week, we'd have to then bring it to 1,000 calorie deficit. And it's as simple as that. That's where we begin. So once we understand, now we know what we're shooting for, what we're aiming for on a daily basis. So that's the number 1 thing. Second part is then we're looking, this is still on the first point, understanding our goals. But if we're not trying to just aim for our limiting our calorie intake, the second thing we need to look at is understanding our macros. So macronutrients is essentially the foundation of your diet. Here we're looking at carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Quick question, do carbohydrates make you fat? No, they don't. There's different diets. I'm not here to debate which diet is the best or which is preferred. Everybody may have a preference. What I'm saying is that if you do increase your protein intake while staying with, so increasing your protein intake and your vegetable intake while still remaining within the calorie intake goal you've set or you found through the research you've done on the link, you're going to get quicker results. So first, if you, let's say, were to just eat within your calorie goals, you're going to lose weight. But it might not be the most healthy. That might still contain a lot of chocolate, a lot of fast food, fatty foods. Probably not the best. Next, we're looking at our protein intake. In terms of when we set our protein intake and increase that whilst limiting our overall calorie intake, that's the best thing to do. It ticks both boxes and it will get you the best results in the quickest possible time. So, simple rule, rather than overcomplicating it. There are different schools of thoughts on this subject, but the one we'll be going for here is very simple. We're looking at 1 gram per pound of weight. So, let's say you're 100 kg, that's 220 pounds. That would now mean you'd have to consume 220 grams of protein a day. And essentially, yeah, that's what we've got. So now we know 220 grams of protein we need to consume a day if you're 100 kg, and you've got X number of calories you need to stay within for over the course of the day to get to your goals. As simple as that. That's where we're starting. Now that we understand this, we can go to the next steps, steps 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're going to get this done really quickly. Again, it'll take approximately, I would say, 3 hours in total per week to do your meal prepping. And here you'll be preparing a bulk set of meals, potentially 4 or 5 meals for the week. So this is like your lunch or your dinner, whenever you sort of find yourself that, to make sure that you can keep to your nutrition goals that you set. So this is the first bit gone. Hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, looking forward to serving you in the next video when we go to step 2. Stay blessed.